A trust is a sophisticated contract that an individual enters into between himself as the trust maker and himself as the trustee or the owner or manager of the trust. A trust is important in that it is a way to plan your estate, similar to doing a will, but much better than a will. A trust helps you not only at death, but also during your lifetime while you're well and if you get disabled. Bad things happen if you die intestate or without a will, because the state of Alabama, through statutory law, controls how your property devolves, and that gets very expensive. But a will is a document, a testamentary document, meaning a document that comes into effect at your death, that is dormant during your lifetime. It doesn't do anything for you at all. It's an inchoate document. It's sleeping, if you will. Now, once you die, it becomes very important, and that document has to be probated. On the other hand, a living trust is just what it says. It's alive during your life. It protects you from such things as your disability. It provides for you during those times. It centralizes your property and concentrates your property into one place where you completely control it. There's a certain amount of creditor protection with that trust. There's many benefits, and at his or her death, it does exactly what the successor trustees are charged to do by the original trustee. Common misconceptions about a trust are the fact that one has to have a lot of money or a sophisticated estate. That's just not true. My clients, I tell them if they have an estate of $250,000 or $300,000, they have a good size equity in their house or a good savings account, life insurance, and it sums up to $300,000 or so or above, they're a candidate for a trust. The type trust that I prepare is called a revocable living trust. And the trust is similar to what many people would call a corporation, a separate entity, but it's a sophisticated contract. And you put your property or title your property into the trust, which holds your property during your lifetime if you get disabled and, of course, if you die. And it's important in that it centralizes your property and controls your property as if it were your individual property, but the trust owns it. So you never have to go to probate court, for example. Probate court, no matter where you are, is expensive. You must have a lawyer to go into probate court, so that's very expensive. It's very time-consuming, and it's very public. A trust, by way of planning with a trust, on the other hand, you never have to go into probate court because the trust owns the property and the trust maker has put into the trust language as to how to handle that property at his or her death. When I do a trust, the examples of property that's put into the trust and thereby protected by the trust are your home place, your real property. You retitle your bank accounts into the name of the trust. You put the trust as the beneficiary of your life insurance. Everything should be funneled through the trust because the trust never becomes incompetent. It never dies. And so you protect yourself ultimately by having a revocable living trust. I know a little bit about these trusts because I've done them for about 45 years now. When I was still in law school, my grandfather, who was my mentor, brought me a thick book that said how to avoid probate court. I was only a second-year law student, had not even taken trust law, but I did my first trust way back then in 1975. Even though I did litigation for a large portion of my practice, I always did these trusts because I did them for my grandfather, that first trust years ago, and I did trusts for family and friends, important clients, all through my practice now of about 43 years. So I've through the years have really picked up on how to do trust.